Everything in existence is woven together by an invisible thread, an energy that flows through every atom, every thought, every moment in time. This is the pulse of the universe, an intricate, boundless force that binds all things into a singular, unified whole. The idea that everything was written by the same hand is more than a poetic metaphor. It is a fundamental truth that echoes across disciplines, from quantum physics to ancient philosophy. Science tells us that all matter is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Spirituality whispers that all souls are fragments of a greater consciousness. Both perspectives, in their own way, affirm the same reality. Separation is an illusion, and everything that exists is part of an interconnected, living web. Recognizing this connection is not just an intellectual exercise, it is a shift in perception that alters the way we experience life itself. Imagine understanding that every person you meet, every event you encounter, every moment of joy or suffering is intricately linked to a vast, cosmic intelligence. How would this change the way you see your own existence? To grasp this truth is to embrace a new way of living, one that transcends the idea of randomness and replaces it with purpose. We are not isolated beings floating through an indifferent universe. We are participants in a grand, unfolding story written by a force greater than ourselves. But what is this force? What is the essence of this universal energy that permeates all things? To answer that, we must journey back to the beginning, to the primordial essence from which everything was born. If everything is connected, then there must be a single source, a primordial energy from which all things originate. To understand the universe, we must first understand this energy, the foundation upon which all of existence rests. Science calls it the fabric of spacetime, the quantum field, the force that set the cosmos into motion. Spiritual traditions refer to it as the divine breath, the life force, the very essence of creation. No matter the name, the truth remains unchanged. Before there was form, before there was matter, there was energy, pure, limitless, and unbound. It is humbling to realize that the same energy that fuels the stars, that weaves galaxies into spirals and orchestrates the cosmic dance of planets, is the same energy that flows within us. The Big Bang, often described as the birth of the universe, was not merely an explosion, it was a release of infinite potential, a moment where raw energy transformed into the elements that would one day become everything we know. From this singular moment, matter was shaped, atoms bonded, and life emerged. But if everything was born from the same source, then nothing is truly separate. The water in our veins once flowed through ancient rivers. The air we breathe was once exhaled by trees that stood long before us. The same forces that dictate the movement of galaxies shape the rhythm of our hearts. We are not merely observers of this universe, we are expressions of it. Once we acknowledge this, the illusion of isolation crumbles. We begin to see that just as our cells work in harmony within us, we too are part of a larger system, one vast, interconnected whole. But what does this mean for our daily lives? How does this universal energy bind all things together in ways both seen and unseen? To answer that, we must explore the interconnection of all things, the silent, ever-present force that ensures nothing in this universe happens in isolation. If all things originate from the same primordial energy, then it follows that nothing in this universe exists in isolation. Every movement, every event, every breath is woven into a vast, intricate web of interconnection. We often live under the illusion of separateness, believing that our actions, thoughts, and experiences exist in a vacuum. But when we step back, when we truly observe the nature of reality, we begin to see that everything is part of a delicate, harmonious balance. Consider the cycles of nature. The water that evaporates from the ocean falls as rain upon distant mountains, nourishing rivers that flow back to the sea. The death of one organism provides the nutrients for another to thrive. The beating of a butterfly's wings can, in time, influence the course of a storm. Science calls this the interconnected system of nature. Mysticism calls it the oneness of all things. Both point to the same truth: everything affects everything. But interconnection is not only found in nature. It exists in the lives we live, in the way we meet certain people at precisely the right moment, in the unexpected turns of fate that change our path. The relationships we form, the struggles we endure, and even the smallest of choices ripple outward in ways beyond our comprehension. To recognize this is to awaken to a greater truth, that nothing is random, and that we are participants in a grander design. And if we are part of this universal tapestry, then what role does consciousness, our awareness, our thoughts, our intentions play in shaping it? To answer that, we must explore the profound influence of consciousness in shaping the very fabric of reality. If everything in the universe is interconnected, then what does that say about our thoughts, our awareness, and our role in shaping reality? The answer is both profound and unsettling. Consciousness is not merely an observer of the universe, it is an active participant in its unfolding. Science has begun to glimpse this truth through quantum mechanics, where the act of observation itself influences the behavior of particles. What was once thought to be an objective, external reality is now understood as something fluid, responsive, and deeply entangled with the mind that perceives it. Could it be that our thoughts, our emotions, and our deepest intentions are not confined to our skulls, but instead ripple through the fabric of existence, shaping the world around us in ways we barely understand? Ancient traditions have long echoed this idea. The teachings of the East, the wisdom of the mystics, and the revelations of great philosophers all suggest that reality is not something separate from us, but something we continuously co-create. When we focus on love, gratitude, and possibility, our reality begins to reflect those energies. When we dwell in fear, anger, and scarcity, we call forth experiences that mirror them. If our consciousness has the power to shape reality, then how does the universe respond? The answer lies in a phenomenon we have all experienced, though few truly understand: synchronicity. These seemingly coincidental moments, these patterns that emerge when we least expect them, are not random. They are whispers of the universe, revealing the hidden order behind it all. Have you ever thought about someone you haven't seen in years, only for them to call you the next day? Have you ever stumbled upon the perfect book, conversation, or opportunity at precisely the moment you needed it? These are not coincidences. They are synchronicities, meaningful alignments orchestrated by the unseen fabric of the universe. Carl Jung, the renowned psychologist, describes synchronicity as the occurrence of two or more events that, while seemingly unrelated, carry a deep and undeniable connection. Unlike cause and effect relationships, synchronicities defy logic, offering glimpses into the hidden intelligence that weaves reality together. They are messages, signposts, reminders that we are part of something vast and interconnected. When we begin to recognize these patterns, we realize that the universe is constantly communicating with us. It nudges us forward, aligns us with people and circumstances that aid our journey, and reveals connections that stretch beyond time and space. But most people dismiss these moments as mere chance, unaware that they are being invited into a deeper dialogue with existence itself. Synchronicities are evidence that our consciousness is in harmony with the greater flow of reality. The more we align with our true purpose, the more frequently these occurrences manifest. They are neither accidents nor supernatural events. They are confirmations that we are exactly where we need to be. But what does this mean for the path we walk in life? If everything is connected and consciousness is shaping reality, then what is the greater journey we are meant to take? To understand that, we must explore the grand unfolding of existence itself. Life is not a random series of events. It is a journey, one filled with lessons, transformations, and revelations. From the moment we take our first breath, we are set upon a path shaped by the universal energy that connects all things. We move through cycles of growth, encounter challenges that mold us, and experience moments of clarity that remind us we are part of something greater. This journey is not just personal, it is cosmic. The stars undergo life and death, galaxies expand and collapse, and entire civilizations rise and fall, all following an unseen rhythm. And just like the universe, we, too, are constantly evolving. Every challenge we face is not an obstacle, but a lesson. Every moment of suffering is not meaningless, but a catalyst for transformation. The universe refines itself through destruction and creation, and so do we. When we begin to see our lives as part of a larger, unfolding story, we stop resisting change. We embrace the unknown, trusting that every experience, good or bad, is guiding us toward greater awareness. But if existence is a journey, then what is its ultimate destination? To answer that, we must explore the profound truth that underlies all things, the unity of the universe. The deeper we explore the nature of existence, the clearer it becomes everything is part of the same whole. The universe is not a collection of separate entities moving in isolation. It is a single, vast organism, flowing in perfect harmony. The same energy that burns in the stars pulses through our hearts. The same patterns that shape galaxies from the spirals of our DNA, the micro and the macro, are only reflections of one another. Science and spirituality, often seen as opposing forces, both point toward this ultimate truth. Quantum physics reveals that at the most fundamental level, particles are entangled, responding to one another instantaneously across vast distances. Ancient wisdom has always taught that we are not separate from nature, but rather expressions of its consciousness. Whether through the language of mathematics or the poetry of mysticism, the message is the same. There is no other. There is only one. This realization is not just theoretical, it is transformative. When we understand that we are threads in the same cosmic tapestry, we begin to live differently. We see others not as strangers, but as extensions of ourselves. We recognize that our actions ripple through the entire web of existence, affecting the whole. We no longer feel alone, because we never truly were. But awareness is not enough. Knowledge must be put into practice. If we are part of this unified whole, then what role do we play in it? How do we move forward with this understanding? To conclude, we must reflect on how this wisdom can shape our lives and the world we share. If everything in existence is part of the same universal energy, if every thought, every action, every breath is woven into the same grand design, then the way we live, the way we think, and the way we connect with others matters more than we realize. We are not isolated beings drifting through an indifferent universe. We are expressions of its consciousness, participants in its unfolding story. Understanding this truth is only the first step. The real transformation happens when we embody it, when we begin to live as if everything truly is connected. Imagine what would change if you saw every person you met as another version of yourself. If you treated every experience, even the difficult ones, as necessary steps in your journey. If you trusted that the universe is not working against you, but guiding you toward greater awareness and growth. This is the invitation the universe offers to awaken, to align, to participate consciously in the web of existence. And it begins with a simple choice to pay attention. The synchronicities, the connections, the hidden patterns, they are already there, waiting to be noticed. The more you acknowledge them, the more they will reveal themselves to you. So I ask you, what has resonated with you in this journey? Have you ever experienced synchronicity, a moment that felt like a message from the universe? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's continue this conversation, because every word, every interaction, strengthens the very connection we have been exploring. And if this message spoke to you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join a community of seekers who are waking up to the truth that we were never separate to begin with.